Basketball Scoreboard is brought to you by the Droid Razor. Thin is no longer frail, only at Verizon.
There is just one race in the chase for the Sprint Cup remaining. It comes your way from Homestead, Miami. It's Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. Carl Edwards, a slim lead over Tony Stewart as they head to Homestead. And again, you can catch all the action Sunday on ESPN. Coverage begins 2 Eastern. All right, back to the hardwood. Missouri, the number 25 team in America, taking on Niagara out of the MAC. Marcus Denman has the ability to fill it up in a hurry, LaFonso.
In every way. He kind of has an old man game. He can put it down, get to the basket, leaners, little push shots, but he can drill it from three as well.
You say an old man game?
That's right. Back you down, little hook shots, little runners.
Flip Pressey knocks down the three off the dribble. Missouri led 22-8, and then seconds to go in the first half. Matt Pressey, why not? Tigers leading this one big in the second half, 73-41. Other action from around the country. Wichita State, the Shockers moved to 2-0. Nice road win for them, 67-58 over Colorado. And Temple is now 2-0, 69-55 win over Western Michigan. Northwestern in action, taking on LSU earlier today. Second half tied at 53. John Scherna to a wide-open Reggie Hearn. He knocked down the three, but LaFonso, the story of this game was Scherna.
I was interested to know who was going to provide the punch without Juice Thompson, who graduated last year. John Scherna has really picked up his level, doing it in every way. Ralston
Turner knocked down a three to pull the Tigers within one, but Scherna this time to Dave Sobolewski, the three. Scherna had 37. It's Northwestern winning 88-82. We are looking forward to our game here, St. John's and Arizona, just moments from now. One final thought, one thing you'll be watching for in this first half.
I'm looking for the matchup between Ochoa on the inside for St. John's and Perry for Arizona. I think their play will dictate who wins this game because their ability to block shots, rebound, and patrol the paint.
Two traditionally strong programs, the Big East and the Pac-12, going at it from inside Madison Square Garden. Dan Shulman and Len Elmore will have the call. Good coaching matchup as well in this one to keep an eye on from the Garden. We'll turn it back down to Madison Square Garden and turn it over to Dan Shulman. Guys.
All right, guys, thank you. New York City right back at you with the second semifinal tonight from inside Madison Square Garden, and this should be a terrific game. Sean Miller's got it going on right now down in Tucson. A Wildcats team that went to the Elite Eight last year. Steve Lavin is back on the sideline and leading his Johnnies into the Garden here tonight. Semifinal number 2 from Madison Square Garden in New York City. The 2K Sports Classic benefiting coaches versus Cancer. 16th ranked Arizona is here, and it'll be a home court advantage for the Red Storm of St. John's as they play in this building, one of their home courts for the first time this season. Earlier tonight, a mild upset, you could say. Mississippi State leading wire to wire and defeating Texas A&M 69-60. Hi again, everybody. Dan Shulman joined for this game by Mr. Vitale. Nick Vitale is here, and he's excited to see some great basketball. Also, this is the 2K Sports Classic benefiting coaches versus cancer. Steve Lavin had surgery for prostate cancer just about a month ago. Back on the sideline. Looks great. Feels great. Great to have him back.
Well, you know, I just spoke to him, Dan, and he told me he's feeling better and better every day. And he's really energized by this young basketball team. You want to talk about diaper dandies. They're loaded with diaper dandies. But it's great to see Steve back. He has a terrific coaching staff with Gene Cady as one of the members, Mike Dunlap, and they've done a great job while he was away.
And it's going to be an interesting matchup. Happy birthday, by the way, to Sean Miller, who turns 43 today. One of the great up-and-coming star coaches in America. This should be a very good game between Arizona and St. John's. Dick, when you think about one-on-one, what are you focusing on tonight?
Well, you think about some really outstanding athletes. When you talk about certainly St. John's, everybody loves the versatility and the multi-dimensional talent of Mo Harkless. He's a local kid who's got a great upside. On the other side, you talk about Arizona, we're talking about a veteran player in Solomon Hill. He's got to utilize that experience like he did against Ball State, where he had a double-double.
Let's check out the starting lineups tonight, beginning with the Red Storm. Malik Stith is the only player on this team this year who was on the team last year as a scholarship player. Nuruddin Lindsay, D'Angelo Harris, and Mo Harkless, and Sir Dominic Pointer starting tonight. God's Gift Achua missed a bus, we're told, and will not start tonight. Kyle Fogg, Jordan Mays in the backcourt with Solomon Hill, Jesse Perry, and Kirill Natyazko in the middle for the Wildcats. Let's go to our Cats. Andy Katz with more.
Thank you, guys. And picking up on what Dick just said about Steve Lavin, the most important thing that he told us earlier this afternoon is that he is cancer-free. It did take him a while to come back from that surgery. It was a 7-hour surgery, very invasive. They wanted to make sure they got everything out, but Steve's saying he's doing great and really felt comfortable in his trust with the staff, with Gene Cady, of course, and Mike Dunlap, who we saw in practice earlier today, really does a great job, a former head coach. So Steve very comfortable that he could leave them to trust in his team, but most importantly, guys, he is cancer-free.
There's Gene Cady, one of the mentors for Steve Lavin, special assistant to Coach Lavin right now.
I was teasing him before the game. I said, Gene, you must be going bananas seeing them utilize the zone because you were strictly man-to-man at Purdue. He said, no comment.
Arizona in white, they are the home team. St. John's in black, although, again, this is one of the Johnny's home floor. But this is the first game they have played here this year. The 3 wins they have were all at Carnesecca Arena in Queens. Kyle Fogg trying to penetrate as the Johnnies do start in the zone.
Yeah, they're going to start a zone. They're going to play a zone quite a bit. Change the look of it because they don't have enough manpower and they don't want to be able to have people get in foul trouble.
And they force a turnover on the first possession.
The one thing with their zone is they're very quick. I think there's 3 things you're going to like about this St. John's team as we look certainly at Sean Miller, as you said, Dan, so well, has done a phenomenal job since arriving in Tucson. But they like their skill, they like their speed and quickness and the confidence at St. John's.
Arizona's got a lot of depth and versatility, some young players, everybody still adjusting to new roles, of course, with Derek Williams gone off to the NBA, one of the top players in the country last year. Everybody's got a new role. Harkless penetrates and lays it in.
He shows his versatility right there. He spots a gap, attacks it, good bounce off the floor. Sean Miller told me he has a chance to be a star ultimately.
6'8" freshman and a local kid out of Queens. St. John's is not a very big team, not a very deep team. One of the reasons why they play zone, and with Achua not getting a start, they're even smaller right now. Corner jumper no good for Jordan Mays, and it's over to the Red Storm.
Tell you one thing about Arizona, they can shoot the basketball, and that should be a plus for them as you look at the scoring leaders early. Stats can be very misleading early because of all the cupcakes involved.
You can see, though, they are all newcomers. Again, Malik Stith, who scored 85 points last year. That's him with the ball right now. Those are the only 85 points returning to the team this year. Everybody else of significance is new.
Dwight Hardy, by the way, played in Italy, had 44 the other day.
A travel is the call on Nuruddin Lindsay, a sophomore from Philadelphia who threatened, get this, Wilt Chamberlain's scoring records in the Philadelphia high school ranks.
Yeah, at Overbrook High School. Tell you one thing, you're going to see some turnovers out of St. John's because of the youth.
Jesse Perry of Arizona called for the foul.
Perry, a real physical player, tough, tenacious. Last year they went to the Elite Eight, tremendous win over Duke. Lost a tough game to Connecticut for the right to go to the Final Four. As you said, Derek Williams was off the charts.
Yep, Momo Jones also gone from the program, transferred to Iona.
At 17 today.
Yeah, had an incredible game, a 1-point loss to Purdue down in Puerto Rico. Good screen, and the layup will go for Lindsay.
See, that's what they're talking about with speed and quickness. When he made that turn around the corner, he just turned the afterburner on.
And right now, it looks like Arizona's trying to keep up with the pace, but that they're not quite comfortable playing at this quick of a pace, although now the Johnnies turn it over.
I think the zone's bothering him a little bit.
Perry inside, and a foul on Sir Dominic Pointer.
Steve Lavin really loves his young kids. Take a look at Lindsay right now. You're going to see this quickness. Makes the turn. Nobody rotates over. Nobody closes off the driving angle.
Jesse Perry at the line, shooting 2.
Great to see Steve back on that sideline. You know, it's amazing today, Dan. So many people battling cancer, but it's such an inspiration that they're back out working. Years ago, if you had cancer, you felt like you locked yourself up. Today, we got Jimmy Boeheim, Jim Calhoun, Steve Lavin.
You can see he's wearing the sneakers. This is something that all the coaches did, started a few years ago. Just kind of a symbol to raise awareness for coaches versus cancer. And Coach Lav said, you know what, it's comfortable. I'm just going to keep doing it.
You know, Monday we're going to see Mike Montgomery coming back from bladder cancer. Who, by the way, according to Sean Miller, he's showing they have the best team in the Pac-12.
Cal picked highly. Washington, UCLA preseason picked high, but they're really struggling in the early going. Arizona is going to be a factor as well.
You're being nice when you say struggle for UCLA. Get blown out by Middle Tennessee. Nice cut without the ball.
And Lindsey is fouled. Boy, the St. John's players are playing at a super quick pace right now.
Well, that's all they raved about before the game. While you were doing the first game, I was inside trying to get some tidbits, and that's all they raved about. Quickness, quickness, quickness.
Achua has now checked into the game. Number 3 for St. John's, was not in the starting lineup tonight. He's a junior originally from Nigeria by way of a community college, Erie Community College near Buffalo. Lindsey, the offensive rebound. Achua up with the left hand. Achua again.
He's a physical force inside, a space eater. They really lack size, so they need Achua.
Mays into traffic. Boy, and we have seen in the first 3 minutes intensity, tenacity, determination by both teams. This has been a physical affair.
Hey, Mays right there attacking the basket. Solid player. You know, he went through a stretch last year where he made 10 threes in a row. 10 threes in a row.
In postseason play.
Yeah, hit 4 against Texas.
He's a sophomore out of Los Angeles. And Sean Miller said he's an underappreciated player. Remember all the hype coming into the season about Josiah Turner, the freshman point guard. Started the first game, didn't play at all in their last game. He's just not quite there yet. It's a big adjustment for him to college basketball. Nobody talks about Mays except his head coach, Sean Miller, who really values him.
Well, you know, Turner, the reason he didn't play the last game, they weren't happy with some responsibilities in practice, class time, etc.
Offensive foul, Lindsey lowered the shoulder.
And the quickest way to get an attention to a player, quickest way, on the bench. No star likes to sit on a pine, baby.
And Arizona's a deep team. Sean Miller can do that a little bit more easily than Steve Lavin can. He's only got 7 players in his rotation right now because 3 of his incoming recruits didn't qualify. They're hoping that at least one of them may be able to join the team second semester. Kevin Parham, and what a story that is. The young man from the Bronx you may have heard about or read about suffered a gunshot wound to his leg a couple of months ago when he came home to visit family. And then several weeks later, his mom died from breast cancer. His grandmother died in the summer from cancer. One can only begin to imagine the emotions that are flowing through that young man right now.
He's back in New York City. Has a lot of family and friends here. When he got shot, he was in his dad's apartment. And watch right there, there's Parham. First shot, Madison Square Garden. It goes down. An incredible story. And if you want to read more about it, a terrific job done by Dana O'Neill of ESPN.com. Read that story. Very powerful, very emotional what he had to face.
Just returned to playing on the weekend. Still has some weakness in his right leg. The bullet is still lodged in his right leg and apparently will forever remain there. But there was an altercation in his father's apartment. Parham not at fault, not to blame in any way. Suffered a gunshot wound, and then just a few weeks later, his mom passed away from breast cancer. And boy, he's got the support of a family here in New York, and he's got the support of his Wildcat family out in Tucson as well. Sean Miller saying he doesn't think he knows anybody of any age who has had to go through so much so quickly as Kevin Parham has. Mays for 3.
They can do that. They can shoot the 3. So it's going to be interesting to see how that really works with that zone by St. John's.
Stiff. Spins, leaves it short. Johnny's on the glass again. Another offensive rebound.
Tell you one thing, they're playing very hard. Both clubs, a lot of intensity, a lot of emotion.
And we'll go to a timeout here in the Garden. St. John's trailing Arizona by 3 in the early going.
The 2K Sports Classic benefiting Coaches vs. Cancer is brought to you by 2K Sports, creators of the best-selling and top-rated NBA 2K12 video game. In stores now, rated E for everyone. Verizon, America's largest and most reliable wireless network. And Prudential, solving financial challenges for 135 years. Prudential, bring your challenges.
Welcome back to Madison Square Garden here in New York City. Semifinal number 2 from the 2K Sports Classic benefiting Coaches versus Cancer. A lot of St. John's fans in the house. This team is back in the headlines again. Arizona's up 9-6 in the early going. Sean Miller's got a good team that hopes to contend for Pac-12 supremacy. Mississippi State defeating Texas A&M 69-60 in the first game. D. Bost had a really nice game. You'll be with me for the Bulldogs against the winner of this game in the championship tomorrow night.
Tell you one thing, Bost, really very impressive. It's hard to believe that Akron could beat that basketball team, but they did at Mississippi State. That was a game I'll never forget. LeBron James had all kinds of tweets going one after another, cheering for his Akron team.
Boy, every rebound is a real battle right now. Coming out of the scrum, Nick Johnson with the ball, a freshman from Gilbert, Arizona.
They love him.
Sean Miller says of the 4 freshmen, he's the furthest ahead. He came in college ready, understanding everything that he had to do. And Miller says the starting point for him right now is 25 minutes a game. They'd like to give him even more minutes than that.
He will. Eventually, he will earn those minutes as you get into the real competitive part of the schedule. By the way, he comes from great stock. His father played at Arizona State, Joey, and then also his uncle, the late Dennis Johnson, a terrific Hall of Famer.
What a player. At the line is another one of the freshmen. This is Josiah Turner, who came in as the most heavily hyped of the freshman class for the Arizona Wildcats.
They say it's a matter of time. A matter of time before he becomes the star that they're anticipating.
Perry is going to sit down, and Coach Miller at shoot-around today said, hey, I want people to know he's not a bad kid. He's a good kid. He's working hard. He's just not yet made the adjustments, understanding how different college basketball is. Not just the basketball part, the school, the life part as well. All the responsibilities he now has. Hill for 3. Solomon Hill bangs it home.
I told you, Dan, they could shoot the 3.
Yep.
So that's going to real test for St. John's zone. All their scores have been off the 3 and the free throw line. They have no deuces yet.
Lindsay with the ball in his hands a lot. Stiff, really, when he's in there playing more off the ball. Stiff's on the bench right now. D'Angelo Harrison with a nice shot fake. One bounce, drop it home from 15.
Dan ran into Ricky Callaway, who used to play at Indiana and then transferred to Kansas, and he told me all about this kid. He's from Houston. He said he can flat out shoot the jump shot.
Parham with the offensive rebound on the miss by Johnson. And now it comes down to Mo Harkless. St. John's looking to push, as they often do. Achua a little bit out of control.
And no angle right there. Poor angle.
Boy, quick shots, but this one goes. It's Harrison again, another freshman. He's from Missouri City, Texas.
He can shoot the basketball. He's a flat-out, outstanding shooter. There's that zone. Changing the look of it. Match up. Go to a 2-3. Sometimes out of a 1-3-1 set. A good ball reversal.
Yep. Parham in the post. And the corner 3 is good. That time it's Turner.
Tell you one thing, Sean Miller right on target told me before the game we could shoot the basketball. We got a variety of guys that can make shots.
They've got 4 threes already. St. John's has not even attempted one. The 3 is not a big part of St. John's offense at all.
Tell you one thing, you better beat Arizona now, because once they come in starting next year, it is back to the days of Lute Olson, when Lute turned that whole program around. And that's why he became a Hall of Famer. Had McHale rocking big time, and Sean Miller's heading into that direction.
Yep.
Has the best recruiting class, according to Paul Biancardi and all our people at ESPNU in America. #1.
Maryland went after Sean Miller in the offseason. There's a block by Sadiki Johnson, another freshman, and he's from the Bronx, so excited to be playing here in the Garden. Maryland really wanted Sean Miller, but Miller decided to stay in Tucson. They upgraded some of the facilities, some of the other things he wanted. He signed a new extension, and I think you're right. They're on their way to once again being what they were for so many years under Lute Olson.
Got a kid coming in, Brandon Ashley. Parzewski, a big kid they beat out Kansas for. They're going to really be outstanding. Gabe York, another great player. Ashley comes out of Findlay Prep.
And they've got a chance to be a lot better even later this season than they are now. So many young players, so many players in new roles, but a lot of talent. Parham.
They can shoot the basketball. They can flat out shoot it. It's going to be difficult. I think that Steve Lavin's got to make a little decision to change the rhythm, go to a little man-to-man, then go back to your zone.
Harrison, no call, and it's Arizona ball.
A lot of patience, very confident shooting the ball. Bad shot right there.
Parham, one shot too many, and now numbers for St. John's. 3-on-1. Lindsay, no!
Should have given it all. Should have passed the basketball. Had a 2-on-1. Little mistake, inexperience, showed the skill, the quickness, but should have dropped the bounce pass. Take a look right here. Is Parham squaring his body back home in New York City. He lived right near Yankee Stadium. Play a little baseball there, don't they?
Yeah, a little bit.
Did they have a little history there?
Yeah. 27 World Series championship.
Oh, right now they're on a hunt for some pitchers, baby.
Yep.
I think they got the cash to pay them, too.
Harrison at the line. Parham's going to sit down for a moment. More on this young man from Andy Katz.
It really is a remarkable story, and when we spoke to him this afternoon, Kevin was telling us again how when the assailant went into his home, he was talking to a girlfriend at the time. There was a gun pointed right at his head. He reached for the gun. He got it deflected from that angle, and that's when it went down. Shot him into where the bullet went into his leg. He did say that it has affected some nerve damage, and that's why he wears this brace, so he's still got some sensation going on in that right foot. He did tell me that he never wanted his mother to know that he'd been shot. He actually talked to her from his hospital bedroom where he was there for 2 days. She never found out that he was shot. He told me he never wanted her to know.
And she passed away a few weeks later from breast cancer. The lay-in for Achua.
You know, he was thinking about transferring because he wanted to come close to home after his mom. And his aunt sort of talked him out of it, said, hey, your mom would be proud if you stay where you're at and finish where you started. And I want to salute also the NCAA Emergency Fund. They allowed him to fly back and forth to show some compassion so he can come and visit his mom. And I think that was really, I think that's a great rule that they have now.
Parham sitting down, knocked down a couple of threes. Enjoying himself here so far tonight.
Well, you got to feel good, man.
Yeah.
You come back home, you knock down a few threes.
Arizona's 5 of 9 from three-point range. Parham has 2 of them. St. John's still in the zone. The pull-up by Fogg, too strong. Weak side rebound by Lindsay.
You know, Fogg, an experienced player. He's worked hard on his game.
Phil Green steps into a three. Another freshman, originally from Chicago by way of IMG Academy down your way in Florida.
Down in Florida. In fact, I just recently spoke to all the kids down at IMG Academy. They got a good bunch of kids down there right now.
Back within 2, a 7-0 run for the Johnnies. Sadiki Johnson, and Arizona turns it over.
That quickness of St. John's going to bother a lot of people.
St. John's on a 7-0 run as the Red Storm get back into this game. We'll hear from Coach Lavin when we come back. The St. John's crowd energized. He is back from prostate cancer surgery. He talks about getting back to coaching after his diagnosis.
I think in some ways it was a nice diversion because you were so consumed, so engaged in coaching and teaching your players and in trying to build this program and move it forward. And so that was a good escape from the realities of having cancer. And I think the fact my father, who's my best friend, advisor, mentor, had been through prostate cancer himself. He's a 21-year survivor. And so having his kind of calm, steady direction and consultation was helpful as well.
There's his beautiful wife, Marianne Giroux, who is here at the game tonight. And it's the first thing that Coach Lavin talks about when you find out you've got a disease, whatever that disease may be. The support system you have, the love of family, people who have been through similar circumstances. That's as important a thing for somebody dealing with adversity as anything.
Well, caregivers, people that really care about you. It's the same thing in adversity, any situation.
Yep.
It usually comes down to family at your side and everybody else disappears.
Missed the first 2 games of the season, back on Sunday. And again says he's feeling better every single day. He's into yoga. He does long walks, works on his breathing and eating better, doing everything that he can to try to make things well. Stith into traffic. Still 10 to shoot. Lindsay with a reverse. Wow.
I tell you one thing, they're a talented basketball team. There's no question about it. When you talk about getting to the rim, putting the ball on the floor, they got some talent. In fact, he told me before the game, our talent level is better than in the past. He said, well, we had some veteran kids that knew how to play last year. And what a story they were last year. They rejuvenated the Garden, got some excitement here. It's a great reverse layup. Look at that hang time.
Lindsay in the first 3 games of the season averaging better than 16 points per game. What a spark plug he is in the backcourt. At the line for Arizona, Jesse Perry, a senior out of St. Louis, one of the remaining veterans on this Arizona team, along with Solomon Hill and Kyle Fogg. Phil Green just picked up his 2nd foul. He'll sit down, and D'Angelo Harrison will come back into the game.
Harrison isn't that shooter coming in for that perimeter shot. You know, last year, St. John's, when you talk about beating top 15 teams, they went through a stretch where they had beaten Villanova, Pittsburgh, Connecticut, and Duke, and Notre Dame, and they were all ranked in the top 10.
And a foul going against the Wildcats. The 5-hour Energy Puerto Rico tip-off continues with the semifinals tomorrow on ESPNU and ESPN3. Temple and Purdue, and then Alabama and Wichita State. John Shambi and Hubert Davis enjoying their time down in Puerto Rico with some great basketball. That Purdue-Iona game today, sensational. 91-90, the Boilermakers winning. And Alabama looked very impressive, beating Maryland by 20.
Tell you one thing, Alabama can be a real team to keep an eye on.
Yep.
Anthony Grant's got some outstanding talent. Jermichael Green and Relaford and Lacey.
Stith off to Achua, who converts. God's gift, Achua. His parents are both ministers. His siblings' names are Grace, Peace, God's Will. They all have very spiritual names, and he's a very intelligent, grounded, humble young man.
Tell you one thing, he's also worked on improving his free throw shot. Look at that 3. Oh, no, it's a 2. Fisher right there says, no, it's a deuce. Hey, I'll tell you this. Achua struggled shooting free throws earlier, has made 17 in a row.
Wow.
17 in a row.
Hey, Dick, we got a good one going here.
Yeah, well, you got some talent on the floor.
This is good stuff.
You got some active talent, very intense.
Rick Stansbury, the coach of Mississippi State, is here scouting because his team will play the winner of this game tomorrow night.
He's probably wondering this team to be like a Jekyll and Hyde. Play really great, and another time you wonder, they play in spurts. They're going to have to be consistent to beat either one of these 2 teams. As a look at Coach Stansbury.
His team beating Texas A&M 69-60. So the Mississippi State Bulldogs will play the winner of this game of the championship game tomorrow night, 6:30 Eastern, right here on ESPN2.
You know, they led 31-9 at one time in that game as you did it. But, you know, in fairness, when you look at Texas A&M, they're playing without their star. Middleton is out. They'll get him back in a few weeks.
And Ray Turner never got going. 20 a game his first 2 games. Had some foul trouble in the first half and never got in a groove. Stith sits down.
That name Stith is magical, but only in New York. The Stith brothers, for years, way before your time, St. Bonaventure's were absolutely superstars.
Now some man-to-man.
No,
now they're back into the zone. You're right. I'm sorry. A little pressure, and then they dropped into the zone. But what are they going to do about this 3-point shooting? Solomon Hill with another one.
I think you got to get out of man-to-man. I think you got to play some zone, even if it's for a man-to-man. You got to get out of the zone and play some man-to-man for even if it's for 3 to 4 minutes. It just gets them out of that rhythm they're in.
Arizona 6 for 10 from 3-point range.
Sean Miller, brother Archie, now coaching at Dayton. I said, how is he doing? He said he got his first loss. He said, but he'll love it up there, and they're going to love Archie.
Sean Miller, a lot of experience in this building as a player at Pitt. His players may not have played here before, but their coach could certainly tell them what it's like.
Shot 90% in the free throw line in his career.
Good player. And a rising star as a coach.
Absolutely. That star is really rising. Just check his bank account.
Mays, a little bit strong. Long rebound to the Johnnies. They've got numbers. Harrison off to Harkless. Count it.
I tell you, athletic, run, baby, run. Quickness. They're going to love Levin's kids. Loving Levin. They're going to love his kids. Here they go. This kid has a chance, ultimately, to maybe be a Player of the Year candidate in the Big East. Not now as a freshman, but I'm saying if he stays in school.
The foul on Mays, his second. Mo Harkless, 6'8" freshman from Queens. Steve Lavin's quote on him is he's an important recruit. He will lead other local talent to St. John's. For many years, the best players here in New York City did not stay in New York City.
He's a Pied Piper for him. He'll be out there. I'll tell you, that coaching staff, too. He has got one incredible staff.
Mike Dunlap, Tony Childs, Rico Hines, who tore his Achilles. They were so low on players that he had to go in there and practice and tore his Achilles. And, of course, Gene Cady, the special assistant, if you will, to Steve Lavin.
Can you imagine St. John's having a Cady there on the sideline?
Boy, Lindsey is quick and shifty, and a little bit too quick and shifty right there.
They seem to have fun playing. They enjoy the bounce. They were excited before the game. I walked into the locker room. They were excited making their debut here at the big Mecca, Madison Square Garden. A lot of enthusiasm and energy out of Steve. Did an outstanding job with us at ESPN.
Stolen away. Lindsey again. Another block, and he'll be going to the free throw line. Boy, Nuruddin Lindsey really making things happen in the first half. The Johnnies have come back to tie it at 26 here inside the world's most famous arena.
Kevin Connors in studio, reminding you there's college football going on over on ESPN. Logan Thomas and Virginia Tech extending their lead to 17-7 over North Carolina. Back to the Garden, Dan Shulman and Dick Vitale.
Right. Hi, Kevin. Thank you. Back here with the Garden. Dan Shulman and Dick Vitale. St. John's and Arizona tied at 26. The Johnnies, a talented young team, picked 12th out of 16 in the Big East this year. Is the Big East that tough again this year?
It's going to be tough, top to bottom again. You know, a lot of people were saying last year, overrated when they got in the NCAA. In fact, my guy, Charles Barkley, and Charles does a lot of work with the V Foundation. Charles, you're out of sync. Overrated. Think about it. Connecticut wins the national title. They're 9-9 in conference play. How can it be overrated? And then you think this year, Connecticut is going to be very good. Syracuse is going to be outstanding. Pittsburgh, I know they stumbled at home, but they got beat by Long Beach State. Casper Ware put a show on. 28 points, 6 assists, but they're going to be very good. Louisville, keep an eye on Louisville. And don't count out the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. Talk to Mike Bray, who, by the way, I think, talk about a coach that fits to perfection where he's at. Mike does. And I'm going to tell you, I can't wait to see Monday night. They take on Missouri. That should be a good battle.
We're going to do that game.
Yeah, we'll do that. And California's going to be up there with Georgia.
The CBE Classic at Kansas City Monday and Tuesday night.
See a kid by the name of Jorge Gutierrez, who's terrific, along with Mr. Crab. California, see Mike Montgomery. Cal,
one of the top picks in the Pac-12, along with this team we're watching here tonight. Arizona. Also, another tournament starts next week. It's the EA Sports Maui Invitational, which begins Monday. Look at this field. Michigan into Memphis. Tennessee will play Duke. UCLA and Chaminade, and then Georgetown and Kansas. The games on the ESPN family of networks Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday from Maui. Parham follows up the miss, gets the rebound, misses the follow. And the Johnnies have the ball.
He's a very strong 6'6" kind of player, very physical.
Yeah, Sean Miller says he is their toughest player, and he's not even talking about the mental toughness that Parham has shown and has needed to develop to deal with everything that he's dealt with on his personal life. He's just talking about on the court. He is their toughest player.
Tell you, we talk about Arizona, we talk about the Pac-12. You better watch out Lorenzo Romar's club. They got some outstanding players. Yep. They got a freshman who can really pass the basketball. Tony Roten who can really pass the ball. Abdul Gadi. Giving him a Ross is terrific too. Probably can play at the NBA level.
Harrison at the line.
He can stroke it. He can really stroke the basketball. I know he missed that free throw, but he can stroke it.
3-point lead for the Red Storm as Parham sits down.
You know, St. John's, one thing they do really well, it's an early sign to it, Dan. They get to the free throw line. They've already been, going into this game, 99 times in their opponents, a total of 30. I mean, that's better than a 3-to-1 ratio.
That's great. Angelo Chol with a rebound, but he's blocked. And then a foul on Arizona.
They think Chol's eventually going to be a very good player. Blocked shots, came out of San Diego. Highly recruited, very active player.
A freshman originally from Sudan. And now it's double bonus. 2 free throws as you look at Chol. Achua at the line right now for St. John's.
He missed one. He had 17 in a row. We jinxed him.
Who?
Me.
We?
Hey, what about the wacky world of college hoops already? I mean, we're into the season about 7-8 days. Long Beach State over Pittsburgh. Cleveland State over Vanderbilt. Akron over Mississippi State. Middle Tennessee State, Loyola Marymount is a score on the inside over UCLA. Elon over South Carolina. Coastal Carolina over LSU.
8-0 run for the Johnnies here at the Garden. This is a freshman, and he's got incredible upside. Nuruddin Lindsay is a sophomore, but a newcomer to the program. D'Angelo Harrison is a freshman. God's Gift Achua is a freshman. A junior college transfer. A junior is first year with the program. And they are the big scores this season and tonight for the Johnnies.
You know, on a real spurt right now, St. Johnny's 21-7. Arizona led 19-10, making all those threes.
Nick Johnson back into the game. Nice look to Solomon Hill. Misses the three, and the battle for the rebound is won by Harkless.
Harkless so versatile. Inside, outside player, very smooth.
Left it short. Hill racing the ball back up the court. A pretty versatile player in his own right for Arizona.
Arizona actually misses a big guy on the interior. Post player to give him scoring down in the box. They'll get that next year.
Tough bank shot, no. Follow, no. Kept alive. Parham's got it. 4 looks at the rim for Arizona, and they come up empty.
Great hustle, a lot of tenacity, but couldn't convert.
Boy, and the Red Storm are taking the ball to the rim time after time and drawing a foul almost every single time.
And that's why they go to the line. 3-to-1 ratio early in the season, I know, but still, that's an indication of their driving ability. Transition, they love going up and down the floor. They're going to be a fun team to watch.
Stiff at the line.
Had a couple of tough breaks. You alluded to it earlier. They thought they had the kid Sampson, the kid Pell, the kid Garrett.
None of them qualified. 2 of them, Jakar Sampson has decommitted. Norvell Pell has reopened his recruiting. They still could conceivably get any of the 3, but they feel they've got the best shot that Amir Garrett, who's a wing player, will still want to come to St. John's. They've all gone back to prep school to work on their academics, but there's a chance that Garrett could join the team for second semester, which is just about a month away. Fogg for 3. The Wildcats really needed that one.
Tell you one thing, they got a variety of guys that can make that 3 too. It's not one guy you can match up on. They're zoning right now. Arizona going a little zoning. No, then it looks like a little matchup.
Harrison turns the corner. Offensive foul.
Good call. Use that left elbow.
Kevin Parham taking the charge.
Great job stepping in for the charge. Take a look right here. There's the screen. They're going to see the left hand come out. There's the bump. Good times are going to happen at both places. Louis Carnesecca's got to be happy, and Lute Olson's got to be happy. Miss those guys. They were 2 big-time coaches.
We'll be out in Tucson for one of our Saturday prime games this year. Washington at Arizona. And you and I will have an interesting game. We have St. John's on the 1st of December down in Lexington.
Yeah, Lexington, Kentucky.
Yeah.
I was impressed with their talent. Big Blue Nation's going to have a lot to cheer about. I just don't want to see that posing and flexing, man.
Yep.
Don't need it. They're too good.
Nick Johnson too strong.
The goggles, I don't mind. When they show the 3, let's have a little fun.
Jordan Mays called for the foul. That's going to be his 3rd, and Arizona just keeps sending the Red Storm to the line.
They create the opportunity to go to the line with their driving ability, the way they attack. They're always on that attacking mode.
Arizona's committed 13 fouls already, and St. John's is 11 for 15 from the line.
When you're attacking, and you play aggressive basketball, you're going to create opportunities to get to that free throw line.
Do you think against good competition like this and beyond what St. John's will face over the course of the season, if their rotation is only going to be 7 guys,
can wear them down.
Can they keep up the pace?
It's going to be tough. It's going to be very difficult when you go week in and week out playing the likes. We didn't even talk about Villanova and teams like Marquette. Marquette's going to be terrific this year.
Two more free throws for Lindsay.
Just talk about Georgetown. Yeah, we didn't mention them either.
I don't think we mentioned Pitt.
Yeah, Pitt we did. They got beat.
You?
We said, yeah, they're going to be my Long Beach State.
Yep. Yep.
But they're still going to be very good with Ashton Gibson coming.
Parham on the inside, surrounded.
As soon as you're doubled up like that, you got to find the open man for that 3. Kick him right out.
Turner penetrates.
Reverse the ball. There it is.
Johnson from the wing. Another 3.
Created by the ball reversal. Got the gap. I tell you, they got a bunch of good players. When Johnson and Josiah Turner get familiar with the college game, they're going to have a very tough complement on that perimeter.
Now the 3 not there for Lindsay. Rebound, Harkless.
Are you kidding me? Are you serious? That diaper dandy. He's a New York City baby. And oh, Mr. Lavin, you're going to love him. You're going to love him. As long as he stays at St. John's.
36-32. Red Storm, less than 4 minutes to go here, but an extremely entertaining first half.
I'm impressed with Harkless. I tell you, he's lived up to all the billing.
Lindsay with a foul.
So many times you see kids and they don't live up to all the articles. This kid is for real, man. This kid is for real. There's the offensive rebound. Now watch the explosive drive, the jam, the dunk, and the fans love it here at the Garden.
Coming up on the halftime report, we'll revisit Mississippi State's upset of number 18, Texas A&M, a sparkling performance from DeVos. And the reigning national champions in action tonight. Wait till you see what UConn did in the second half versus Maine. It's all coming up when you join me and LaFonso Ellis at the half. Dan?
Hi, Kevin. Thank you. Back here with the Garden. A great first half so far. St. John's leading Arizona 36-32 with 3:48 to go. The winner to take on Mississippi State in the championship game of the 2K Sports Classic benefiting Coaches versus Cancer tomorrow night on ESPN2. Kyle Fogg is at the line right now, 1-1 for the Wildcats. The foul leading us into the break was on Nuruddin Lindsay, his 3rd. You talked about the lack of depth St. John's has, and the impact of Lindsay on the game has been obvious so far. He'll sit for the rest of the first half, and it may be an issue going into the second half.
Could be an issue. And yet 7 players and can't afford to lose a quality guy.
And a pair for Fogg to make it a 2-point game.
Tell you one thing that's really interesting. You look at the fact that Arizona's made 9 field goals. 8 of them have been threes. They made only 1 deuce.
They're
1 deuce.
They're 1 for 13
shooting twos
from 2-point range, 8 for 14 from 3-point range. And a lot of that has to do with the fact, of course, that St. John's has been in a zone the entire game, so they're taking a lot of threes, but they're making a lot of threes.
Well, they're able to shoot the 3. Also, the fact of the matter, the reason St. John's is leading, getting to the free throw line would have converted 13 for 17 versus when you look at 6 for 9 for Arizona.
And they're going back to the line again. The foul on Nick Johnson, his 3rd. He becomes the 2nd Arizona player with 3 fouls. And Sir Dominic Pointer, they usually call him just Dom in the St. John's huddles and during practices. Sir Dominic Pointer, a freshman out of Detroit, will get a couple of free throws.
Yeah, he's from out of the Motor City. Ooh, not close there. Hey, you know, Arizona's won 22 straight home games at McHale, so you know they're jumping with joy down there. Right now, the longest win streak at home, Cameron Indoor Stadium, Duke 38, Kentucky, the Cats have 35. In fact, John Calipari has not lost at home since becoming the coach of Kentucky.
And Pointer misses them both, but a great play by Harrison to steal the ball. Then he has it taken away by Hill, and then Pointer fouls Hill, so Arizona will get a couple of free throws. Now, the big difference for Arizona from last year's Elite Eight team, of course, is the departure of Derek Williams off to the NBA, one of the best players in the country last year. Inside, outside, did so many incredible things for this program. So Sean Miller says not only do they have to figure out how to replace Williams, but every player they have is in a different role. Jesse Perry needs to do more. Solomon Hill needs to do more. Kyle Fogg. Everybody needs to assume a new role on this team.
Tell you what else he brought to the table. Using a term from Mr. Digger Phelps, what he brought to the table was the fact that he got everybody in foul trouble from the other clubs.
Yep.
He went to the line more than anyone in America. He would go to that free throw line on a regular basis, get everybody in foul trouble, create opportunities for his teammates.
And he shot 57% from three-point range last year.
He almost broke the record of Steve Kerr.
Yeah. Harrison a little short. Still loose. Achua. And it's Arizona ball. Great hustle play to save it by Josiah Turner.
Turner's going to be a really good player. No question in my mind. He's going to be a special point guard.
Harkless the rebound. St. John's pushing.
I saw you pointing. Nobody got back. Nobody got back.
There was a
wide
St.
open.
John's player 30 feet behind the defense, but Harkless was still gathering the rebound and didn't see him. And eventually we have an Arizona foul.
Steve Lavin, people forget the job he did down at UCLA, but it wasn't good enough unless you get to the Final Four. Forget about Final Four. You better hang up a man, cut the nets down.
7 seasons at UCLA for Steve Lavin as Brendan Lavender, a senior from Mesa, Arizona, checks in for Parham. 7 years at UCLA, and Steve Lavin made it to 4 Sweet 16s and 1 Elite 8. But his last year was a losing season, 10-19, I believe, and then he came to work with us for 7 years, and now in his second year in St. Yeah, he did go undefeated.
Went undefeated for 7 years.
You've got a longer undefeated. You currently have the longest undefeated streak at ESPN, I believe.
One of my 33rd.
Hill kicks it out. Turner for 3. Hill again and a foul.
Good hustle by Hill. Very physical. He's the one guy who's got to give him some interior play. Experienced.
That's his first.
Just the first on Harkless. St. John's already has Nuruddin Lindsay with 3 and D'Angelo Harrison with 3. And they're a team that thus far this season has only been 7 deep. They actually held an open trial just to try to get another body or two, just to get up to 10 players in the program, so they could play 5-on-5 in practice if need be.
That's why it's very important that Garrett becomes eligible for them in December. As you talk about playing in that Big East, game after game after game, it's tough.
And you just got a shot of Rico Hines, one of the assistants. You can see his right foot in a boot. That's because he tore his Achilles, as we mentioned earlier, because they had to put him in during the practice because they didn't have enough other guys to compete. The 5-hour Energy Puerto Rico tip-off continues with the semifinals tomorrow. It'll be Temple and Purdue, and then Alabama and Wichita State. The first game on ESPNU and the second game on ESPN3.
You know, I was really happy to see Purdue's Robbie Hummel have a good game. So great to see that kid playing again. He had 24 points, but he made the big 3 to beat a very good, I mean a very good Iona team. Lamont Jones, Momo, who played here at Arizona, eligible, had 17 in that game. And they got some other good players. Michael Glover's terrific. Machado's terrific. I mean, Kevin Cluse used to be from St. John's, the coach at Iona, and they're going to have a terrific year.
It looks like a great tournament going on down in Puerto Rico. We've got Kansas City coming up next week, Maui coming up next week. This is a great time for college basketball.
I know one person watching us tonight. I will guarantee he's watching again.
Who?
Momo Jones. Momo.
You're right.
Momo, I know you're watching. And your buddies wish you were in their uniform.
Shot clock at 10. Harrison fading away, off balance shot, Arizona ball.
He had to take that shot. The shot clock was coming down. Got to show some patience here. Their quickness, man, they get really on that basketball.
Pointer called for the foul, his third. So we have 3 St. John's players now, or do we? Just the second, excuse me, the second on Pointer, Lindsay and Harrison.
Kyle Fogg, 2 shots.
So
Now Harrison, apparently they've taken one off the board that was inadvertently assigned to Harrison, so he's only got 2. So Lindsay has 3, and 3 other St. John's players have 2.
You know, Pointer and Turner played together in high school down there in North Carolina. Saw them talking a little bit before with each other. You look at Arizona with guys that can shoot like Mays and Fogg and Johnson. They got guys that can make those threes. Parham.
They're going to be a big factor in that Pac-12 race.
Absolutely, because the one thing about, you talk about Sean Miller, his players develop and get better and better, just like Derek Williams did. Derek Williams became a star player. Great defense right there.
Here's a steal. Josiah Turner lays it in. Arizona's up by 3.
He will be a diaper dandy, and he will be a special player. He's just got to listen to his coach. Listen to Sean Miller, who's been there, understands it, follow what he wants him to do, and he will be a heck of a player.
Harrison. Tie game.
He can shoot it, man. There's no substitute for guys that can stroke it. When it comes out of their hand, you think there's a chance it's going to go in. St. John's had one of the greatest shooters I ever called the game for, Mr. Muller.
14 for Harrison.
Hall of Famer.
Lavender can shoot it. Arizona back on top.
Shoot the 3, baby. Trifectas flying all over the place at the Garden.
5 different Wildcats have now made a 3, and they're 9 of 17 from beyond the arc as a team.
I like the style of play, too. Up and down, a lot of quickness, athleticism, crowd getting into it.
Listen to the noise here in the Garden. Shot clock turned off. Green needs some help. Harrison, offensive foul. Now he's got 3.
He's better catching the ball, shooting with that good look than he is trying to attack the basket off the bounce. He's got to work in that area a little bit more. How to create separation. A lot of players don't know how to create separation for their shot.
What a great effort put forth by these 2 teams here in the first half. No call, and the first half comes to a close.
Terrific action, really terrific action.
Let's take a look at some of the recent highlights. Josiah Turner with a steal, and he'll go lay it in for Arizona. That gave him a 3-point lead. D'Angelo Harrison responds with a 3 from the wing to tie it. And then what does Arizona do? They go right back down the court, and Brendan Lavender buries the 3. The Wildcats lead by 3. Andy Katz is with Steve Lavin.
Thanks, Dan. Steve, you've got 3 players now with 3 personal fouls. How concerned are you that Arizona may be able to wear you guys down in the second half?
Well, it's no secret. Arizona's got a lot of experience from a Pac-10 or is a Pac-12 now championship and that Elite 8 run. And they lost some key pieces, but you can see the strength, you can see the experience, the maturity. And I like our kids, though. Did a lot of good things. And the foul trouble is something that we'll have to try and watch and monitor as we go along. Got to be smarter some with our decision-making at both ends. But that comes with having one of the youngest teams in the country and 6 newcomers.
So how do you get them to avoid some of those empty possessions here in the second half?
Well, I think decision-making, obviously, Noradine Lindsay is pretty special. And once he went to the bench with the 3rd, you could see that affected our offense some. And every practice, every game, as you can see, is a learning experience because we are young. We got to come of age quickly because in the Big East. It's not going to get any easier for us.
All right, thanks, Steve.
Okay, take care.
Back to you, Dan.
Andy, thank you very much. What a first half. Steve Lavin's having fun, but it's the Arizona Wildcats who hold the lead 44-41 at the break. Time now for the UPS halftime report with Kevin Connors and LaFonso Ellis.
All right, Dan, thanks very much. 14 points for D'Angelo Harrison, but St. John's trails by 3 at the half. Strong showing from Mississippi State in the opener against Texas A&M. LaFonso DeBost is a pest.
He did a terrific job scoring from outside, giving them leadership, but his ability to steal the basketball. 4 steals in this game really set the tone for Mississippi State.
They opened the game on a 31-9 run. They weathered an Aggies run, and Rick Stansbury's team gave a glimpse of what could be with this team.
And they didn't get any interior presence, but their guards were excellent in this game.
69-60 the final score. Welcome into the halftime studios. Kevin Connors, former Notre Dame standout LaFonso Ellis. Really entertaining first half. This one was about as good as advertised, and it's a real contrast in styles, LaFonso.
This is the kind of college basketball games that we just love to watch. You're talking about St. John's, their ability to beat you off the dribble. They were terrific in transition, being able to get to the basket, but the key for them in this first half has not only been their ability to get in transition, but they've been able to attack off the dribble, getting to the rim several times against the Arizona Cats. 21 free throw attempts in the first half. And how about Arizona? How about 9 3-point makes in the first half as well?
9 of 16 from three-point range, Arizona. St. John's 15 of 21 from the line. On a very different note, there is a developing story out of central New York. Police in the city of Syracuse have told Outside the Lines they are investigating an allegation that Syracuse University assistant basketball coach Bernie Fine molested a teen ball boy for more than a dozen years, beginning in the mid-1980s. The alleged victim, Bobby Davis, now 39, told Outside the Lines Fine molested him beginning in 1983, shortly before Davis entered 7th grade. Davis was the team's ball boy for 6 years, beginning in 1984. He says the abuse occurred at Fine's home, at the Syracuse basketball facilities, and on road trips, including the 1987 Final Four. Fine is in his 36th season as an assistant to Jim Boeheim. He was briefly the interim coach in the 01-02 season while Boeheim recovered from surgery. Davis said he never told Boeheim about the alleged abuse. Police stress they are in the early stages of the investigation. Now, we want to warn you, some of the allegations are graphic in detail. Mark Schwartz has more.
His contact with Bobby began innocently enough, Bobby thought, when he rubbed Bobby Davis's leg. But after a time, the summer of Bobby's 7th grade year, that rubbing of the leg turned to rubbing of Bobby's penis. And when this first started to happen, Bobby said he didn't know what to make of it. He pushed Coach Fine away. He was completely torn because he didn't know why this man who had become like his father was touching him in a private place. And he told Bernie, he said, I don't want to do that, Bernie. Leave me alone. Well, Bernie persisted, and as years went on, Bernie Fine, according to Bobby Davis, grabbed his penis, pulled on his penis, and got him to ejaculate on many occasions. Bobby told me that this happened probably hundreds, if not 1,000 times, that Bernie Fine was touching him, finding him and bringing him to a basement room, to a secluded place, locking his office door behind him so no one could see, bringing Bobby on recruiting trips and to hotel rooms during tournaments, and sharing a room with this young teenage boy for many years, from 6th grade all the way through high school. He helped Bobby get to college. He stayed in touch with Bobby until Bobby was 27 years old, and the sexual abuse continued for a period of 15 or 16 years.
Syracuse University issued the following statement tonight. On hearing of the allegations in 2005, the university immediately launched its own comprehensive investigation. That nearly 4-month-long investigation included a number of interviews with people of the complainant said would support his claims. All of those identified by the complainant denied any knowledge of wrongful conduct. The associate coach also vehemently denied the allegations. The university says it will fully cooperate with police, who say they are in the early stages of the investigation. Bernie Fine has been put on administrative leave by the school. Take a time out here on the halftime report. When we come back, we'll check out the defending national champions in action. UConn in a dogfight for 20 minutes with Maine. That's coming up.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by the 2011 Ford F-150, built Ford tough, and Rent-A-Center. With worry-free pricing, there's never a long-term commitment.
She said, I can't get enough, can't get enough. I can't get enough, can't get enough. I can't get enough of what you got. Good guys, you hit the spot. Try to let go, but I just cannot. So don't you stop, I need help.
Garden here in New York City, the 2K Sports Classic benefiting coaches versus cancer. This is semifinal number 2, and what a first half it was. Arizona 44, St. John's 41, the winner to play. Mississippi State in the championship game tomorrow night, 6:30 Eastern time, right here on ESPN2. Dan Shulman, Dick Vitale, welcome back. Glad you're back with us. Really good first half. St. John's zoned the entire way. They got after it. Arizona moved the ball around, hit some threes.
Well, you know, Arizona making the threes were big. They made 9 threes in the first half. On the other side, St. John's did a terrific job attacking, going to the free throw line. We're going to watch Arizona right here try to create the opportunity for the three. They're going to try to create it by reversing the ball, getting into the gut of the defense, and they're going to swing it out. They're going to keep it moving until they find the open man. They are thinking three, baby. Thinking three. We're going to see right here, Mr. Farr kicks it out to Mr. Johnson, and it's nothing but nylon. NBN.
Let's take a look at the stats right now for the first half, brought to you by Reese's, and there's the big difference. The three-point shooting, 9 for 17 for Arizona, 2 for 5 for St. John's. That's in character with what these teams are like, although Arizona obviously isn't going to shoot that high of a percentage. Consistently, look at all of the free throws for both teams. And St. John's, all those points in the paint because they're putting the ball on the deck and getting to the rim.
Yeah, really getting to the rim. And that's an area right now Arizona's got to get a little scoring on the inside.
Foul issues as we begin the second half. Nuruddin Lindsay has 3 for St. John's. D'Angelo Harrison, we believe, has 3. The stat sheet we were handed says 4, but we believe that Harrison has 3. But either way, they only go 7 deep. And 2 key players have 3 fouls.
That can be big. You got to really watch that stat.
Stolen away. Harrison trying to save it, but he can't. Steve Lavin applauding the hustle.
Well, good anticipation by Harrison, stepping in the passing lane, trying to create that opportunity for the score. Really entertaining game so far in the first half. Really entertaining.
Leading scorer for St. John's, D'Angelo Harrison with 14. Leading scorer for Arizona, they were more balanced. Solomon Hill with 9. 8 players with at least 3 points for Arizona in the first half.
Solomon Hill's one of those kids that he's multi-talented, go inside, outside, strong player, physical. You know, I was shocked when I heard Lamont Jones transferred. I thought Momo for sure was going to be one of their stars, now playing for Timmy Kluse. I think I said earlier when I talked, I said Kevin, his brother, but it's Timmy, the coach at Iona.
The officials at the monitor right now reviewing whether the shot clock should have reset. If St. John's ever officially technically had possession, if not, the shot clock should not have reset. It's at 35 right now, but I believe they might take the time off the clock and say there was no change of possession, and there it is. They'll knock it down to 10.
You know, some of the things going on with the monitor, I think we're going to the monitor too many times. I really do. It slows up. I mean, you had the game the other night. They were going to it regularly.
A lot, yeah.
I mean, it's really
whether a punch was thrown,
yeah.
there were a couple of those. So, yeah.
And it really slows up the whole movement of a basketball game. Human error sometimes got to be part of the game.
Rebound comes down to Harkless off the miss by Fogg.
Look at the pressure they put on you with that quickness. Always attacking, always in the attack mode.
Achua defended by Nadiazgo. The kick to Harrison. Rebound Wildcats.
He wanted to foul. Harrison, where's the call? I got banged. Where's the call? See, Solomon Hill can play inside, outside.
There's Jesse Perry, the kick to Hill. Mays from the corner misses the 3. And St. John's has it.
So I think St. John's change defense a little bit, just take them out of that rhythm of standing and shooting that three. Arizona's going to play man-to-man, basically exclusively. That's their style of play.
Harkless with a 17-footer. And down with the rebound is Hill.
I like Solomon Hill. I like guys that can do multiple things, and he can.
Good ball movement. Hill for three.
Here they go.
Yep. Lindsay forcing the issue, pushing the pace, finishing.
He's got an NBA mentality of scoring. He is an absolute attacker. One-on-one will break you down. You said earlier, Dan, broke all kinds of records as a high school scorer in Philadelphia.
Double figures now, 10 in the game for Lindsay.
Sixth highest scorer in the city high school league out in the history of the league, out in Philadelphia.
Threes aren't falling right now, but the offensive rebound by Hill. Perry with the finish.
Perry's one of those gamers. Nice pass inside. Perry's really a gamer. Hard-nosed.
Oh, talk about hard-nosed.
Are you kidding me, Mr. Lindsay? That's not Mayor Lindsay out of New York City either. That's Lindsay from Philadelphia, man. How did they let him get out of Philadelphia? Villanova, Temple, LaSalle, all those schools, the Big Five. Look at this guy explode. Use the left hand. City of brotherly love, giving some love to the Big Apple. Went to junior college in Oklahoma, Redlands Community College.
Yeah, spent 2 years there, just one as a player, which is why he is a sophomore in terms of eligibility. Lindsay actually quit playing basketball for a while after the death of his younger brother. He wears number 10 for his younger brother, and the loss of his younger brother hurt him so much he gave up the sport of basketball, went to Redlands to get away from Philadelphia, a fresh start, eventually found the love of the game again, started playing again, honors his little brother with a tattoo and the jersey number, and boy, you can see how much Lindsay enjoys playing right now. That was Fogg with the three for Arizona.
He's got that special gift, Lindsay. He knows how to beat a guy off the bounce. Great first step. Explosive. He's a big one to watch now with those 3 fouls. He gets 4 and that'll change their team.
Kyle Fogg called for the foul. Let's go to Andy Katz.
Well, what we've seen here in the first couple of minutes in the second half is exactly what the Arizona staff was worried about from a defensive perspective. They said they were not guarding the ball very well off the dribble, and we've seen our St. John's be able to get to the basket on a number of occasions here. Back to you, Dan.
All right, Andy, thank you.
You know, Andy, you're right about getting to the basket. The problem is not only beating the first guy, nobody's rotating over to close off the driving angle.
Harkless off to Harrison.
They got to get him involved more. Harkless is too good to just be a guy standing on the perimeter.
And Achua as well. Neither one of the big guys really getting a ton of touches inside. It's mostly been the guards. Lindsay just bowling his way inside and draws another foul.
He's just a scorer, man. He averaged 35.8 a game in 2007 and 8. 35.8 a game.
Second foul on Hill. Lindsay has been relentless in his desire to penetrate and get the ball up on the glass.
He's got that scorer's mentality. He's a prolific scorer. He's going to have to be good on the free throw line because he's getting a lot of opportunities to go to the line with his driving ability.
Nick Johnson will take the place of Kyle Fogg, who just picked up the foul.
That's a nice combo when you can bring in Fogg and bring in Johnson to replace Fogg.
The Wildcats break the pressure. St. John's, even with just 7 bodies, they continue to trap and press before dropping back into the zone. Jordan Mays makes him pay with a 3.
Tell you what, Mays can shoot it from out there as well. Veteran player. They're like Baskin Robbins, man. They got a variety. They got a variety of guys that can shoot the 3.
They've got 11 threes in this game.
Came in here averaging 6 a game in their first 3 games. They want to beat you off the bounce, man. They want to attack you. They're going to get Harkless some looks, man. Get him some touches.
Phil Green nowhere to go. 6 to shoot. Lindsay. The pull-up. And the rebound to Jesse Perry.
Perry's a warrior. He's a warrior. Coaches love those kind of guys.
Nick Johnson from the corner. And it'll be out of bounds to St. John's when we come back. Arizona by 5 as we send it to Kevin Connors in the studio.
All right, Dan, a developing story in the world of college basketball. 2 individuals have come forward with allegations of sexual abuse by longtime Syracuse assistant basketball coach Bernie Fine, who's been placed on administrative leave. One of the individuals who claims he was seen in hotel rooms with Bernie Fine on road trips and that Jim Boeheim witnessed it. Now, Jim Boeheim has issued a statement himself tonight saying, "I know this kid, but I never saw him in any rooms or anything. It is a bunch of 1,000 lies he is told." You don't think it's a little funny that his relative is coming forward? He supplied 4 names to the university that would corroborate his story. None of them did. There is only one side to this story. He is lying, he being Bobby Davis. Again, Bernie Fine has been placed on administrative leave. Back to Madison Square Garden after this.
To the Garden in New York, Dan Schulman, Dick Vitale, Andy Katz, the second semifinal of the 2K Sports Classic benefiting coaches versus Cancer. Arizona 52, St. John's 47, the winner to take on Mississippi State, which defeated Texas A&M earlier tonight. We have the championship game tomorrow night, 6:30 Eastern here on ESPN2.
Tell you one thing, Dan, if St. John's is going to win this basketball game, somebody's going to have to step up. Lindsay has all the points in the second half. They're going to need help from some other people.
And Lindsay is not in the game right now as St. John's turns it over.
Sitting down there trying to save them with those 3 fouls. They don't want to get that 4th.
We have Lindsay, Harrison, and Pointer all with 3 fouls. Mays and Fogg and Johnson with 3 for Arizona, but Arizona's a deeper team. The lob. Johnson slams it home.
Great execution right there. Great execution.
Freshman to freshman. Turner to Johnson.
Johnson with the catch and the jam.
That has fired up the Arizona players and their bench. Parham is back in the game. Scholl is in the game.
Little bounce.
Is that a U of A chant we're hearing right now here in New York?
Little bounce to their defensive effort right now, too. Yep. Give them a little sport.
Shot clock at 7.
A little active there defensively.
Phil Green somehow makes that shot.
That's a Hail Mary, baby. That's a game shot you use in the game, a horse.
That will be charged as a 30-second timeout.
And Steve Lavin will take a timeout, but the crowd's still buzzing about the alley-oop. Dickie V at the other end. You talk about your high-risers.
There's the lob over the top. There's the catch, and there's the jam, baby.
Welcome back to New York. It's 54-49 Arizona over St. John's. Let's take a look now at tonight's Reese's perfect play. 2 freshmen combining to raise the roof here at the Garden for the Arizona fans.
They raised the roof right there. Nick Johnson, man, terrific jam. Catches from his buddy Turner. They're going to be a dynamite duo down there in Arizona. What a duo they're going to be. Once they get their chemistry, and then, I mean, they have a great chance to learn so much also with guys like Mays out there, veteran players like Mays and Fogg.
And looking further ahead, Arizona is considered by many, Dick, to Sean Miller has got maybe the best recruiting class in America coming in next year, according to the experts.
Well, Paul Biancardi, Dave Tellep, and our people rate him #1. They got a terrific class, followed by Kentucky, North Carolina State, Michigan State, and North Carolina. Sean Miller and his guys doing a great job selling Tucson, baby. They got a kid coming in, Brandon Ashley, who's going to be special. Tarzuski as well, a big kid.
Yep. Arizona with the ball in a 5-point lead.
Kentucky, though, still in the hunt for Shabazz Muhammad, considered to be the best. They get hit, they're going to be elevated to #1 again.
The Wildcats still playing with 3 freshmen in the game right now, and Arizona turns it over. Lindsay's back into the game for St. John's.
Tell you one thing, these freshmen aren't normal freshmen.
On either side. Phil Green.
That's big.
Freshman.
That's big. Every guy you call him basically freshman. They're like seniors that have played so much basketball, AAU ball. These kids have played like you cannot believe all summer.
Of the 10 players on the court right now, 7 of them are freshmen.
And diaper dandies, baby.
This game's right up your alley, huh?
There's that zone. They're not coming out of that zone. Change the look of it a little bit, but they're not coming out of it. She used that high post as a passer.
Good ball movement. Turner misses the shot. Here comes Lindsay. Better slow him down.
He wants to attack, man. He's trying to get you one-on-one, break you down.
Green attacks.
Hey, Green's got an attacking style with him as well. Wow. Come out of Chicago with the IMG Academy. Down there right now, Andy Borman doing a great job coaching down there.
Green, 7 points. Sorry, Dick, in the first 3 games. 7 points total, 10 tonight.
He wanted a big stage, man. He wanted a big stage.
It's a 7-0 run by Phil Green.
He knew you were on the call. He wanted to hear your voice. Call his game.
He just wanted to hear you say from out of Chicago. I like how you say that. Scholl, yes, and Arizona back on top.
He's going to be a very good player. Shot blocker. He just got to get familiar with the collegiate game, the pace of the game, speed of the game.
If you're just joining us, this is the way it's been all night. Up and down, very intense and physical.
Yeah, my guy Howie Schwab can't even help me out. He's so nervous. His alma mater playing. He's a nervous wreck. He's chewing his nails. Usually he's chewing a hot dog, but now he's chewing his nails.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a block.
Yeah, block on Scholl, flattens Lindsay, and takes us to a timeout. Phil Green is the latest player in this game to make some statements. He's got 3 baskets in a row, a 7-0 run by Green, but it's Arizona clinging to a 2-point lead. A good game continues between Arizona and St. John's. It's a 2-point lead for Sean Miller's Wildcats. Happy birthday to Coach Miller, 43 years young today. And as you talked about during the first half, one of the rising stars in the coaching fraternity.
Well, you just look what he's done at Xavier. Everywhere he's been, this guy's a winner. 5 seasons at Xavier was terrific. 4 NCAA appearances, quality play, can play with all the Goliaths in the game. He's been coach of the year in both conferences, and just a likable guy, too. His dad did a great job. His dad, from out of Blackhawk, was his coach. Coached his brother as well. Same high school that produced a fair quarterback. Played for the Jets. But a Joe Willie Namath. And right down the road, they've had a few great players as well. Our own Mike Ditka.
Arizona in the white jerseys. They are the home team in this game, although this is one of the 2 home courts for St. John's. And a nice backdoor cut there by Harkless to tie the game.
I really like his game. I don't think he gets enough touches, but he has shown his versatility. He can shoot the jumper. He can attack off the bounce. He can move without the ball.
Johnson can't penetrate, kicks it inside. Hill right back out. And the Johnnies have it with a chance to take the lead.
I give Harkless some touches. I really do.
Here he is. Got a size mismatch. Johnson on him.
Nice pass. Are you kidding me? What about the pass, Danny? Right. What about the pass, Danny? Oh, Danny boy. What a pass. My guy Harkless. I love him. I can see why Steve Lavin loves him. He made that play. Take a look at the vision right now, the size. First of all, he's in an isolation, and there he is drilling. What a pass across the D. And Harrison says, thank you, buddy, thank you. And look at do a little dance. Steve's gonna do a little dance. I saw him dance. He will not be on Dancing with the Stars. Trust me. He's got 2 left feet.
Harrison to the line. The Red Storm with its first lead of the second half. And the offensive rebound run down by Pointer.
Sean Miller can't be happy with that. Got to come up with those balls on a missed free throw. They play with a lot of confidence for a bunch of young kids, don't they?
Yep.
I mean, they're meeting a team, a very good team in this Arizona team. Not a great team, but a good team.
Pointer. Yes.
They really can attack. Whether it's Pointer, Lindsay, Green, Harkless, they got guys that can really, off the bounce, get you to the rim. Timeout right here. Timeout. Levin's on cloud 9. Oh, is he feeling good? These young kids really impressive here tonight, Dan.
10:25 left in the second half. An Arizona timeout with St. John's on a 13-2 run to now take a 4-point lead. Now, one of Dick's favorite expressions, diaper dandies. And I don't know, Dick, that you'll ever have a chance to use it as much as you might have a chance to use it tonight.
Well, these diaper dandies are really stepping up. Harkless, I mean, you can talk about it. They're all over the court. Shooting jumpers, whether it be Lindsay, whether it be inside, outside. Look at the attack off the bounce. Green attacking off that bounce. There's Johnson with the jam. There's Troll on the inside. And then Mr. Harkless as well. I tell you, Mo is going to be a special player. I just love his game. He's got a good feel for the game. He understands what's happening, doesn't force shots.
You know, this is a zone St. John's plays.
Got to put more pressure on the ball up front.
Yeah, but it's not a passive one. I mean, Green's out there wreaking havoc, then they drop back into the 2-3.
Yeah, it's not your normal 2-3 because they don't have the length.
Yeah.
They play it like a Syracuse. They play it a little bit differently.
Parham off balance, can't finish. The Red Storm have it again.
I'm going to give him 5 if he made that one. It's impossible.
St. John's has converted its last
Are you serious?
7 shots.
Did you see the change of direction? Did you see that front change? I thought I was seeing Timmy Hardaway. Oh, wow. What a front change. I thought you'd take me back to yesterday and seeing Hardaway with a little change of direction. What a terrific change. That was a big-time move.
Lindsay now with 16, and many of his baskets have been spectacular.
Arizona has 1 timeout remaining.
Take a look at this change now. Are you kidding me? A little shake and bake. Change, explode, use the left hand. A little shake and bake. We're at the Rucker, baby.
Well, the Red Storm bringing a lot of excitement back to Madison Square Garden. It started with last year's team.
It feels like the good old days to a certain extent tonight. There's some buzz in the building.
Oh my goodness, lingerie! The put back inside, the follow by Bradley.
The Garden has been unkind to the opponent. What a start to the season for the Red Storm. St. John's wins it. St. John's style at the Garden is back. St. John's does it again against a top 10 team.
What a play off the dribble by Hardy.
Duke, Georgetown, UConn, and now Pittsburgh all lose to St. John's at Madison Square Garden.
Of course, this is an almost entirely different group, but Dick, it looks like there will be some exciting moments in this building this year as well.
I can imagine if they got those kids eligible that were there. When you talk about Sampson at 6'9", joining these kids, it would have been some kind of excitement. Louis Cornacecca's got to love this.
6-point lead for St. John's. They've hit 9 of their 12 shots here in the second half.
What's been a key, they've been able to play with Lindsay and Harrison without getting the 4th foul.
Perry, too strong. Nadyazhko can't corral the rebound, out of bounds to Arizona.
Nadyazhko really is a guy that's space eater, screener, a guy to keep the ball alive on the inside, limited offensively. Size. See, last year at this time, they just go to Derek Williams. It'll be Williams time.
Kick ball into about the 5th row. This is a tough game for a guy like Nadyazhko, you would think, with all the quickness that St. John's has, yeah.
You know, you could be an analyst. Wow. Pace of the game. I like that. Pacing. They have not come out of that zone once tonight.
And the foul on Green, number 3.
They're calling that this year early in the season, not allowing you to make any kind of hand checking.
That's the first team foul on St. John's here in the second half.
Well, that's what the zone are doing. That's one of the reasons they're playing the zone, according to Steve Lavin to me before the game, wants to protect players.
Had some foul trouble in the first half, but it hasn't been an issue yet in the second half.
See, the post is open. You can utilize the post as a passer.
Hill Soft touch.
Nice play to get into the gap of that zone. Great isolate it.
And Sean Miller took Naviasco out of the game, trying to get a little more quickness in there for his team. Parham pushing. Off balance.
Out of control.
Offensive foul. Yeah, poor decision by Parham.
Trying to do a little bit too much there. He's home.
Number 3 on him. Started off the game very well with a couple of threes, but since then it hasn't gone as well. And now Mays will sit down. Turner back into the game for the Wildcats.
Tell you one thing, shows you respect and the ability of a guy like Turner. Here's crucial time right now. Club is down 4 and they go to the freshman.
St. John's, their 3 wins this year against William and Mary, Lehigh, and Maryland, Baltimore County. Arizona's 3 wins over Valparaiso, Duquesne, and Ball State. All 3 of those wins for Arizona by between 8 and 10 points. Both of these teams coming into tonight much better in the second half than the first half. A rejection, shot clock at 10. Lindsay might try it again. Now the kick.
He made a great move, but it's a terrific defensive play.
Pointer pulls up from 16 and banks it home.
Off the glass. The bank must be open, baby. Timmy B.
The lead back to 6. Both of these teams will play tomorrow regardless. The loser will play Texas A&M at 4:30. The winner will play Mississippi State at 6:30, and Lindsay lays it in again.
What a scoring machine this kid could be. Great anticipation, steps in a passing lane, converts in transition. He's got flair, man. He's got pizzazz.
Largest lead of the game for St. John's. The foul committed by Harrison.
You know, you St. John's fans out there, you St. John's fans, you alums, you got to buy some tickets. You got to come out and support these young kids. Take a look at the steal right here. Come on now. This kid's worth to see play. I'll loan you the money. You want some cash to buy tickets?
The 2K Sports Classic, benefiting Coaches versus Cancer, is brought to you by 2K Sports, creators of the best-selling and top-rated NBA 2K12 video game. In stores now, rated E for everyone. Verizon, America's largest and most reliable wireless network. And Audi, truth in engineering.
In New York, the 2K Sports Classic benefiting Coaches versus Cancer. This is game 2, the second semifinal with St. John's leading Arizona 66-58. The Red Storm on a 19-4 run right now over the last 7 minutes and 40 seconds. Earlier tonight of the first semifinal, Mississippi State led wire to wire, led by their outstanding senior point guard, DeBost, who had 20 points and 4 steals in the game. The Bulldogs taking care of Texas A&M 69-60, and Mississippi State will play in the final tomorrow night at 6:30 Eastern time right here on ESPN2 against the winner of the game that you're watching right now.
I'll tell you one thing, DeBost to be one of the better players in the SEC. Very impressive watching him early. They got to get Mr. Sidney to start to contribute and utilize his skills and ability. And most of all, it's got to start with conditioning and a desire on his part to want to be a legitimate player.
Sidney tonight had 3 points, 5 rebounds in 22 minutes, went 0 for 8. 0 for 8 from the field.
Hey, I'll tell you one thing. St. John's 11 for 15 in the second half, shooting 73%.
Fogg misses the 3. Offensive rebound, Johnson cutting his Turner. And it'll be out of bounds back to Arizona. For more on the Bulldogs, let's visit with Andy Katz.
Well, I talked to Rick Stansbury about that Sidney line, and he said, you know, it's okay because he had good effort in terms of his mind, and that he's going to make maybe 6 of 8 those coming down. But I did talk to him about who he'd like to play tomorrow night, and he said he was extremely impressed with St. John's athleticism, their quickness, but he said he didn't think that they had any kind of 5-man that could handle what he's got inside.
And Coach Stansbury is still here courtside watching this game.
You know, saying all that, you would think, looking at the makeup of the team, there's a steal, turnover.
Turner elevates with a slam. All of a sudden, it's a 3-point game.
He's big time. But I was going to make this point, Dan. Right now, you would think that Arizona would dominate the glass. St. John's is out-rebounded. They have out-rebounded Arizona. It was 32-27 the last time I looked. See, here's where you're going to watch young kids making mistakes with bad shots, decision-making late in the game.
Arizona fans on their feet making some noise. They're outnumbered here, but they're vocal. Offensive foul, Lindsey.
See,
number 4.
Yeah, number 4 right there, but just too much with 4 guys watching. Everybody's a Kodak man going to take a picture, and he's doing his thing, bouncing the ball.
Timeout taken by Steve Lavin with D'Angelo Harrison and Nuruddin Lindsey, each with 4 fouls right now. More basketball comes your way. Outstanding field. The EA Sports Maui Invitational begins Monday. Look at these teams. Look at these matchups. Michigan to Memphis, Tennessee Duke, UCLA Chaminade, and then Georgetown and Kansas with the semifinals on Tuesday, and then the championship game on Wednesday. How about Michigan? John Beilein's team. That'll be one of our Saturday prime sites. We'll have them against Ohio State in February. Wolverines are back on the map.
Well, they're back on the map also recruiting. Getting the Kid McGarry to sign with them was a big, big plus. One of the premier players in America. Trey Burke, a good player, and Hardaway Jr. will be a star. But watch Memphis. Memphis has like 4 pros. I'm going to tell you, Josh Pastner, you talk about rising stars. Yep. He is a rising star in coaching.
The foul trouble for St. John's. Lindsey and Harrison each with 4. Lindsey has been the engine, the motor tonight for the Red Storm, and he's on the bench for a minute, 2, who knows. We'll see how long Steve Lavin keeps him there because of the 4 fouls. Harrison is in the game right now with 4.
I like Turner. You can see the kid's got big-time ability.
Remember, didn't play at all in Arizona's last game. Just got a chance to sit and watch, absorb, learn, but back in there, and he's giving them some really good minutes off the bench tonight.
And he'll even be better when he faces teams that try to play man-to-man.
Perry, Hill, Fogg.
Nice
Hill,
pass.
beautiful.
Great execution, very efficient, executed exceptionally well.
7-0 run Wildcats.
Competitive spirit, they're not going to go away. Veteran basketball team, a well-coached team.
A little push off there by Green, now behind the back. And finally a foul on Turner. That'll put St. John's into the bonus.
Watch the way to get into the lane. Nice little dish on the interior to Solomon Hill as the penetration. The dump down. Fogg did a great job. Hey, let's give a little tribute, a little salute to 3 guards who were unbelievable this week. Jacobin Brown down in Texas at 35 on Rhode Island. Casper Weir, 28 in the upset of Pittsburgh. And your guy from Canada, man.
Let me have
Kevin Pangos.
Let me have it.
Talk about him.
33 for Gonzaga against Washington State.
9 threes.
He's a freshman.
He hit 9 threes. The Zags.
Every year, new stars, you know?
Unbelievable.
Every year.
That's the exciting part of the new part of college basketball. Seeing the new kids arrive on the block. I just wish they would stay around a little longer.
Well, maybe that'll happen. We'll see what comes out of the NBA collective bargaining agreement if there's a change there. So.
Give him at least 2 years.
Harry muscles his way in and gets the roll.
Nice baseline drive. I see a little fatigue maybe in the St. John's right now defensively. Not moving as quick.
Green, no. Rebound Turner. Boy, he can elevate. And Arizona's got a chance to take the lead. Remember, all this happening with Lindsey on the bench with 4 fouls.
He's going to go to Lindsey. I don't think he's going to wait.
Wide open Fogg. Steps inside. Johnson for 3. And Hill fouled on the follow.
Tell you one thing, very unselfish basketball team. They move the ball. They reverse it side to side. Arizona does a great job trying to share the ball with one another. This kid's a workhorse. Solomon Hill's a workhorse.
Nuruddin Lindsey back into the game with 4 fouls.
He's got to play now. Last 4 minutes, they need him on the floor.
Stith comes in as well. Pointer and Achua go to the bench. Kevin Parham is getting ready to come back in for Arizona. Mays also checked in for Turner. Hill for the lead.
Played really well for them in the NCAA tournament last year. Had those big wins before they lost to Connecticut for the right to go to the Final Four. Beat Duke in an incredible performance by Derek Williams where his stock went off the charts. I mean, he kept rising and rising his stock to become the second player taken in the NBA draft.
Lindsay baseline.
Pushed off. Good call, no doubt about it.
And that is all for Nuruddin Lindsay.
Yeah, no doubt about that there. He laid that shoulder into the defensive player. Watch. There's the push-off and there's the shoulder.
Kyle Fogg taking the charge, and Nuruddin Lindsay, the spark plug for the Red Storm tonight, done for the evening.
Tell you one thing, when he gets a little better reputation, maybe the call goes his way. But right now, that's not going to go his way.
So Steve Lavin will send out Green, Stith, Harrison, Pointer, and Harkless. Achua not a big factor in this game tonight.
No, really been quiet. I thought he'd be really effective if they needed some post play.
Arizona with the ball and a 1-point lead as we go into the final 4 minutes here in New York.
And they're trying to match up on the perimeter players. They've been able to get that open shot.
Fogg for three.
I mean, that was beautiful. Great execution. Step right in the gap, the open area. Sloppy scene. Now the youth is starting to show the immaturity, inexperience. I shouldn't say immaturity, more inexperience.
Listen to the Arizona fans here in New York. Perry comes up with a loose ball and follows his own miss.
Here's the Warrior. Hey, Dan, remember this? St. John's led 66-58 and seemed in great shape. Since then, it's been all Arizona.
To the tune of a 16-2 run.
It has been all Arizona. They're going to be a major factor.
Yeah.
Anybody doesn't believe they're going to be a major factor in the Pac-12 are kidding themselves.
With 4 freshmen in their rotation, all of whom figure to improve as well.
And good things happened when Turner came on the floor. There's Fogg, man. He's made some big plays. Made the big pass when he got into the 3-second area. Off the bounce. There he is with the 3-point shot. And this guy's a warrior, man. He's just a warrior, Mr. Perry.
Dick, Arizona has made 13 threes in this game in 28 attempts.
Pretty tough to lose a basketball game when you're in double figures from the 3.
7 different players have made a 3 tonight for the Wildcats.
That's a weapon to have.
Yep.
He told me before the game, I said, who do I like? Who do I watch to make 3s? He said, Dick, we got a bunch of guys that can shoot them. So I must have learned from you because you can shoot it.
The expectations a little bit different. Derek Williams gone, Momo Jones gone, among others. But these young players really showing a ton of potential. Nick Johnson, Josiah Turner, Kevin Parham. They were worried he might not be able to play at all after the gunshot wound, but he has come back, has become a contributor again within 8 weeks of the shooting. And this is a deep, versatile team.
Tell one thing, the fans out there really get after it too. They really supported when Lute Olson had that place rocking and rolling. Never forget that national championship team in '97 beat 3 #1 teams, seeded teams. Kansas, Kentucky, and North Carolina. Kentucky was actually the final one.
Green handling with Lindsay having fouled out of the game. Harkless and a foul. Reach and foul by Mays. That'll be his 4th. It has been a real battle here tonight, and it's getting a little more heated right now as we head to a timeout. Words being exchanged between the two teams before cooler heads prevail. Sean Miller racing out onto the court to get a hold. Is that Turner, I think? To get a hold of Turner to make sure this doesn't escalate. Get him back to the bench. We'll check it all out for you when we come back out of this commercial break. 7 to go. It has been heated at times, including in recent moments here in the Garden. After a foul was called, the whistle was blown. They're going to timeout. The players all coming together. Watch 15 in black Pointer. It looked like he got that left forearm out into the chest of Fogg. Not a punch, not a punch, but a forearm, which would be enough for a contact technical foul. Perhaps the officials looked at it. They felt that it was just the two teams walking past each other to get to their respective benches, and they didn't think there was anything that warranted a call. So all we have, the reason that Harkless is at the line is because of the personal foul called on Arizona that preceded that little scrum.
I think they would have looked at it a little differently when they got into the monitor. I don't think they went to the monitor.
No, the officials did look. They came over. Yeah, they did look and decided that there wasn't anything that warranted a call. Harkless at the line.
This kid's got to get more touches for St. John's. He has to get absolutely the ball in his hands. Good things will happen when it's in his hands. See, follow him at the end is tough because don't make free throws. Arizona.
Fogg and Mays along with Johnson. A three-guard look right now for Arizona.
Man to man. Man to man.
That's right. Lindsey has fouled out of the game for St. John's.
And he was brilliant. Lindsey's a guy that they miss offensively.
Clock running down. Johnson open. He's hit a couple from there, and he hits another.
They expect big things out of Johnson. He's not only a shooter, this kid's got great elevation. He's a high riser. Johnson and Cherna, I will guarantee you, will be special players at Arizona.
Look at the depth they've got in the backcourt because you put Mays and Fogg into the equation as well.
They got four guards, not legitimate big-time Division I players.
Knocked away by Mays.
Tell you one thing, they've taken control of this game. St. John's was up 8.
Johnson! Whoa!
Great defensive play.
Wow, what a play.
Because Johnson got great bounce off the floor.
And Harkless will score the basket.
Harkless needs the basketball. I think if there's a learning stage for St. John's, they got to get him more involved. Watch the defense rotate over here because this kid can sky.
That was Harkless who rejected him.
Harkless is a very versatile player. Somebody I respect really told me today he has a potential chance ultimately in his career to be a candidate to be player of the year in the Big East.
Fourth foul on Parham. Harkless at the line looking for the three-point play. A minute 40 to go. Arizona by 5.
They got to manage the clock. Game management becomes very essential. Spread the court. Try to eliminate double teams. They're good spacing.
All their upperclassmen are in the game right now. Perry, Hill, and Fogg. One of them just committed a foul. Hill, the offensive foul, his fourth.
If St. John's a little chance and opportunity here. Sean Miller not happy with that play. I'm going to watch it right here. A little one-on-one. Got him in triple threat position. Has the contact. Has the contact.
Great job by Harrison to keep moving his feet.
That's a great play if it's in football.
Woo. Harrison wasn't expecting the pass, perhaps, and St. John's turns it over.
Big turnover right there. Big turnover. Now he tried to take some time off the clock. Spread the court. This would be a good win for Arizona. They were on the ropes, man. They were on the ropes here. Crowd was alive. They were down 8. It's 66-58.
Yep. Doing a good job using some clock. Shot clock down to 10 into the final minute.
St. John's only scored 6 points since that lead. 66. Nice pass.
Perry the finish. What a play by Fogg to set it up.
Hey, Dan, the difference in the game is very simple. Experience has led to execution and to efficiency. 3 E's. Experience, execution, and efficiency.
And Lindsey, having foul trouble for St. John's, really changed this game.
Changed the whole pace of the game because he was electric. He was electric.
7-point lead for Arizona. More great basketball comes your way. It's the 5-hour Energy Puerto Rico tip-off. Continuing with the semifinals tomorrow in the afternoon, Temple and Purdue, and then in the evening, Alabama and Wichita State. Great action from Puerto Rico. Kansas City's coming up, Maui, Orlando, on and on. A great time for college basketball fans right now.
Okay, one thing, you keep an eye on Alabama. Alabama and Anthony Grant's team's got some special talent down there with Relaford, Michael Green, and also JaMychal Green, and factor in Lacey as well.
Here at Madison Square Garden in New York City, the second semifinal of the 2K Sports Classic benefiting coaches versus cancer. And what a game this has been between St. John's and Arizona. Intense, hotly contested, a great pace to it. The lead getting traded back and forth. Right now it's Arizona on a run. And the biggest thing they've done offensively tonight, Dickie V, is knock down the tray.
Oh, the trifecta, baby. It's been big. It's been tray time for Arizona. I mean, they're making like Jason Terry, man. They're making my Miles Simon. They're making like really super shooting that three. Are you kidding me? Unbelievable job shooting that trifecta.
They are 14 for 29 from three-point range. 7 different Wildcats have made at least a three.
Back to those days with Mike Bibby as well. Hey, those guards shooting the threes for Lute Olson.
The winner of this game will get Mississippi State in the championship game tomorrow night at 6:30 Eastern time. Pointer just fouled out of the game.
I was just told that Mr. Tebow won again. He's 4-1 since a quarterback. Let me tell you, throw all the stats away, he's a flat-out football player.
The W, he's doing pretty well in the W.
4-1.
Yep. Arizona by 7. Mays, the sophomore, will go to the line as Pointer becomes the second member of the Red Storm to foul out tonight, along with Nuruddin Lindsay. Time now for tonight's player of the game, brought to you by 2K Sports. And it is Solomon Hill. You could have chosen a number of different players for Arizona. They have been a balanced team with so many different guys having an impact on this game.
Really? You could have picked about 4 or 5 guys.
Yep. Harrison steps inside. Doesn't get the bounce. Rebound Perry. Shot clock turned off, and Arizona's going to go to the championship game.
I'll tell you one thing, a little growing up time for St. John's, but they got some really good young kids that are going to be exciting to watch. They lost to a good basketball team here in Arizona.
The Wildcats will close the game on a 23-6 run and take on Mississippi State tomorrow night in the final.
That's the end of the game. Your final score, Arizona 81 and St. John's 72. Here are tonight's scoring leaders for St. John's. Phil Green at 12 points.
Kevin Parham from the Bronx comes home, hits a couple of threes. Hill has a big game. Nick Johnson, Turner, Fogg, a real team effort tonight from the Arizona Wildcats as they win 81-72 in advance of the championship game. You'll see them play the Mississippi State Bulldogs tomorrow night at 6:30 Eastern time here on ESPN2. Texas A&M and St. John's will play for third at 4:30. Here's Andy Katz with Arizona coach Sean Miller.
Thank you, Dan. Well, Sean, how would you assess the way your team came back late in the second half?
Really proud of them, Andy. The same thing happened to us in our last game, and believe me, we have a long way to go to be a good team, but I think a lot of college teams right now in November are in search of improvement, and we're no different. But the one thing that you want to see is that fight, and you know, we're here a long way from home. It would have been easy for us to kind of just say not today, but we didn't, and I credit some of our veterans. Thought some of our freshmen really stepped up, Josiah, Nick, late in the game, and we had contributions from a lot of guys. Jordan Mays here at the end making those free throws.
Mississippi State's got a lot of bigs, Renato Sidney, Arnett Moultrie. What kind of problems do they pose for you on Friday night?
A lot. You know, I think they're a good team. I haven't watched them a whole lot, but I did see their physicalness. The thing that St. John's does, though, is they almost don't allow you to play big guys unless your big guys are really mobile or great low post scorers. So our 5 position and big guys against Mississippi State will have a different role than they had today against St. John's.
All right, thanks, Sean.
Thank you, Andy.
Back to you, Dan.
Andy, thank you very much. Arizona beats St. John's 81-72 here at the Garden. They'll take on Mississippi State in the championship tomorrow night. Up next here on ESPN2, it's MMA Live. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Dick Vitale, Andy Katz, and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Dan Shulman saying thanks for watching and so long from Madison Square Garden.